Yeah, the Change Plans podcast. We're back.
We're back.
You know,
what it is.
it's just so people know, the last couple weeks it's kind of shoddy attendance, and other than the one time where I was indisposed, all the rest of these have been Vinny's fault. Not that we're blaming anybody, but I'm just saying if we were, it would be
X marks the spot, bro.
However, I'm very proud of this guy. Just before we went live, Vinny was just telling me he just did some shoots for his social media.
I did.
And the guy that was shooting it noted how vastly improved his on-camera performance was.
You want to know why, Joe?
Oh, I know why.
It's because of you. It's because of them.
It's because of your fans.
It is.
You are feeding from the fans. You're learning. You're adapting.
Yeah, I'm comfortable now, man. I already told you when I walked in today. I'm in the cut, as they say, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna lower your mic just a little bit.
No, they want to hear me louder, Joe.
Yeah, no, you're as loud as is necessary, I believe. So
well, you were pretty loud on our last episode. I got a lot of comments. You got a little excited last time.
Well, listen, I consider myself, if nothing else, a passionate, empathetic person.
Could have just stopped that passionate.
I could have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Joe. So what's going on, man? We're back at it.
Listen. Things are good. Things are good. You know what? I'm on a pretty good run lately. No real complaints.
I like it. I just got out of a consultation tonight.
Yeah, you went a little late night tonight, huh?
Yeah, I haven't met someone outside my office in a very long time. It used to be my cup of tea, but now people come to me, right? But I talked to the kid, and I'm like, you know what? It seems like an all right kid. Let me go speak some facts of life. And, it's we're doing a post-nup, but I think he doesn't need a post-nup. I think he just needs to cut bait.
What is a post-nup?
So a post-nup is when essentially you're married and you start reading the tea leaves. Like this shit might not work out, right?
Yeah.
So similar to a prenup, but you're just doing it after the marriage. So, but my point to this kid was, like, if you're already reading the fucking tea leaves, bro.
That sounds like you on the outskis.
Yeah. So, good kid, but it's like one of those, like, I'm going to take this client out. I'll spend $150 on dinner and get a retainer. And then they're like, I make $1 million a year. And we're just like, what am I doing wrong? Especially when it's like a younger person. And then
what does he do?
Medical sales.
Oh, yeah, that's lucrative. Is he handsome?
Yeah, good looking dude.
Yeah, listen, I figured something out a long time
Well,
ago.
if you're in sales, you better be good looking or you're fucked.
Medical sales in particular is nothing but, and if you're a medical sales professional, you're going to want to keep this clip.
Yeah. Make sure you're good looking. Keep yourself in
Both
shape.
the men and the women who do medical sales are
good looking.
They're better than good looking. They're like exquisite.
Like, I got two friends, and I'm not going to mention their names, and they're not exquisite, but
they hot.
I don't know about that. Maybe one out of the two. Hopefully, the second one is not watching right now, because then he's going to know.
And no matter their status, they're always single and ready to mingle,
Well, here's the thing too, and people get so offended by like this topic, right? Like, why does it matter what people look like to sell stuff?
Oh my God.
And let's just keep it real, right? Not everyone is gifted with what we've been given with our looks, right? Like, so I can't really feel the pain.
Disagree with anything
I can't feel the pain of it. But yes, is it fair? No, but the reality is, before you even open your mouth, people are already assessing whether they want to work with you, right? And I'm not saying it's fair.
No, it's not, but
that's
it's reality.
Just the reality of it. And I've gotten so far in my multiple careers, not because I'm smart. It's because I'm this. So for the people who can see me,
I
know
get
what
that.
I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying.
Dude, you're a radio personality, bro.
Yeah.
It's like when you see those sportscasters, you're like, that person should be on the radio.
Can I tell you something? I have, for the last 28 years. I've heard the same thing over and over again. You sound taller. And also, you don't sound like what you look like. And I take that as a compliment because recently a state representative in Connecticut who listened to our show came on the show in person and literally was like struck and was like, "Oh my God," she goes, "You're very good looking."
So you sound like an ugly person?
Well, so I said, wow, like what did you think I look like? And she said, and I thought this was interesting. She said, "You sound like a nerd." She thought I was going to be nerdy looking. I think that's and I thought about it. I am a very factual, analytical person. If you're only listening to my voice, I don't think that you're like, this guy's got to be good looking and charismatic. He's got to look like Roy Orbison, you know?
Well, but it's like
what's going on there?
It's like when you were a kid and you used to call those weird sex lines on your parents' home phone. Or maybe that was just me. I remember I blamed it on the neighbors because I had a cordless phone, and I was like, "Oh, he must have brought it in our yard because that's the way it works."
One time we should really have your mom on the show just to like get reaction to that.
My point is, you're thinking you're talking to some hot Betty on the phone, and meanwhile she's fucking leg wrestling in Arby's.
You just reminded me of the worst story of my life. When I first got in the radio, I'll tell you, we did well going to clubs. If we went to clubs, you could probably meet up with some gals and do all right. But the worst thing ever to do, and I was warned about this, they never sound as hot on the phone as they are in real life. And so,
nope.
Right. So I get a phone call from this girl one night. We just talk for a couple hours, right? I'm on the air and like we're playing, I mean, it's CDs now, whatever. Top 40 radio, and we're chit-chatting all night, and then she calls me the next night, 3, 4, 5, 6 nights in a row,
and you're excited.
And so I'll tell you, because again, I wasn't thinking like I'm gonna meet people, because even in 1998 when this happened, it was still weird to go meet people out. It would be a weird thing.
Yep.
So one night she goes, "Do you want to know what I look like?" And I said, "Sure, yeah. I mean, what do you look like?" And she said that she was 5'7", 125 pounds. I think that's real specific.
Yeah, that's stats right there.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
I'm a stunner. I'm like,
yeah, dude, I would have been like, "Where do you want to meet for dinner?"
So she says to me, "When you get off the air, do you want to go grab a cup of coffee?" I was getting off at 2 a.m.
Ooh, where'd you go for coffee at that late in 1998? Denny's?
Funny. I'll tell you the story.
I need to know. I need to know where it was.
I get in my car and I drive from Hamden to this gal's house in Oxford. And again, it's 1998. So, I'm map questing this. I've got like maps and stuff. Like I've worked my way to get to Oxford. I've never been to Oxford in my life. I'm in the woods in Oxford to meet this a very attractive gal.
You thought.
And so I swear to God, this is a real story. I'm not making up any of this. Everything I'd say going forward is the truth. And this story might be dickish, but it was 1998. It was another time. Don't judge me. I pull up in front of the girl's house, and I shit you not, I thought there was a lunar eclipse.
Oh my God.
And so I look over, and the door opens, and this girl who's not even close to 135 pounds starts to cut. And I thought it was a sister. I was going to be like, "Oh, is she not ready?" And she gets in the car. And I'm like, holy shit. Here's the thing.
Just be honest.
Vinny, you're reading my mind.
Because it's not fair.
You could have been like, "Listen, I'm about 275."
But that's fine.
Yeah. Do you want to go grab a cup of coffee? We've had some really nice conversations the last
Sure.
few nights. And I would have been like, you know what, Tubby? No, I'm just kidding. I would have done it. I
Yeah,
would have done it anyway
100%.
because I'm that
100%.
kind of person.
Yep.
Now, I was very pissed off. Reason being, I do not like to be lied to. I really hate that.
Did you ask her? Like, when were you 125?
She said, no, we just started to drive. And she's like, do you want to go? There was like a Howard Johnson's or some shit. I don't remember. Or Denny's or some late
It was
night.
Denny's. You know it had to be Denny's.
It was something where you would go inside and sit down. And then by the fate of God, there happened to be a Dunkin' drive-thru that was open.
Yo, yes, I'm your biggest fan.
So we grabbed a couple of medium coffees. We drove back in front of her house. And she said, she knew her goose was cooked. She knew I was not feeling what she was putting down. And she said, can you at least stay and have the cup of coffee with me? And I said, well, I will not leave until I finish this cup.
And you guzzled it.
And I chugged that son of a bitch. Were you in the back seat?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because I've lived this story. I've
always felt bad about that.
No, I didn't. So I've had kind of 3 of these stories, right? So I'll start with the early one when I was in college. My friends used to like to set me up on blind dates, right? Same thing. Set me up with this girl. You're talking 4 or 5 days. You know, do you want to know what I look like? And I'm like, and they're not sending pictures yet, right? So, like, I don't want to hear all you young bucks on Tinder and shit. Like, it's not fair.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all.
At all, right? So, similar description, right? And, like, listen, I'm not an asshole, but, like, do I like a specific type? Yes. But I will say, if we're having good conversations, maybe we're not having a relationship, but I'll go have a fucking cup of coffee.
Yeah, right. I like coffee.
So this girl's like, yeah, you know, I'm 5'8", I play soccer, all this stuff. And I'm like, all right. I pull into this driveway. I swear on my mom, dude, this is probably the worst thing I've ever done to somebody. I get out of my car because I'm a gentleman, right? I'm going to go to the door, blah, 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 blah. She comes out the door and I'm like, nope. And she just stared at me and I'm like,
that hurts.
No, and I got my car and I pulled off, which was way worse than your cup of coffee. I'm a horrible person. Second one, it wasn't me. It was my buddy. We were going through the divorce together. Meets a girl on Tinder or whatever online stuff she's on, right? He's like, Vin, we got to go to Eli Cannon's and meet this girl. We see the pictures and I'm like, yeah, bro. Fucking money. Good looking girl, tan. Looks like she works out. I'm sitting there in the waiting room, and I just look down at the floor to see these mammoth feet come across the corner. And it was like fee, fi, fo, fum. And I didn't even look up, bro. I'm just like, Matt, are you there? So we go sit in the booth, and she's like, I'm going to get a Philly cheesesteak. And I'm like, but once again, so my buddy's kind of mad, right? She ends up being a weirdo, but I'm like, don't lie. Don't lie. And then the third one, and then we'll move on to more some serious topics. So I think I might have told this one. So before I met my wife, I was going through therapy, right?
Yeah.
Best therapist ever, by the way, right? Meets you early in the morning, wears gym gear. Like, it was like that, like Showtime, like after hours shit. I'm like, if this is how therapy is, I've been missing out for like 30 years. So she's like, well, I've been talking to my friends about you. And I'm like, it's kind of weird. Right? You're not supposed to be talking about me to people. She's like, what type of girl are you looking for to like date? I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet, but like one of those Boniquas, you know, like the after hours Nelly video chicks. That's what I was looking for. She's like, I got a girl for you. And I'm like, So I remember I was talking to her and I didn't even get, I don't know. I think maybe I met my wife on a double date, but like, you know, I'm playing my field, right? Because I have so many options. I meet this lady at Carbone's. I thought it was fucking Grimace. I literally thought it was like the Hamburglar.
Oh, I got you.
So we go to the bar. I kept my jacket on, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
two-fisted a fucking glass of wine in my face and ran away. And then the next morning, I went to my therapist and I asked her if she took notes, because clearly she fucking didn't.
Yeah, really.
And then I never went to therapy again.
That's why you don't do therapy. It's
so. But my
useless.
point is this: like, just be honest, people. Right? Like, I have this dope. I'm gonna show you, Joe. This is what I wanted to put as my Facebook profile post, because this is the shit what people do now, right? They're like, oh, I look this way, cool. No, you don't. But like, we're gonna find out. Like, you're gonna find out, right? So it's like, if I sent you a picture, like, hey, sir.
Wow.
Right. So if for all the people viewing, I did this AI video. It's like a picture, and that's what I would look like if I was in shape.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like, if I'm talking to a girl and I send her a photo of that, then I show up. I mean, I'm good looking, but I'm not that.
Right. She'll be like, shit, man. What have you been on? Like a bender for the last month?
Yeah. So we're not talking about like, hey, all people got to be good looking and shit, but just be honest. And that's the craziest part, because they're going to find out.
Let me just tell you one last story. It's the opposite of everything you think. Internet story, 1997. I meet a girl online one night in a chat room. And I shit you not, during the night, I had talked to a bunch of people, probably underage, probably dudes even, who knows?
Everybody chats.
Everybody was a hot Victoria's Secret model, right? You know, again, 5'7", 125, 36, 24, 36.
Only if she's 5'3".
Right at the end of the night, I get hit up by this girl, right? And we start chatting, and I go, let me guess, you work for Victoria's Secret? And she goes, I do.
Oh.
And I go, let me guess, you're one of the angels. Because I'd heard that a few times. And she said, no, I'm an assistant store manager.
That's love right there.
I was like, for real? And she said, yeah. And so I was like, oh, I think this is a real person. And so she gave me her phone number. And I called her up. And we start talking for a few days. Right now, it's 1997. And so, right, again, I'm just talking. I like people. She finally does do you want to know what I look like? I go, yeah, sure. And she said, now this is 1997. She said, everyone thinks I look like Lisa Kudrow.
You got to be pretty old to know who that is. But
so, and again, Lisa Kudrow's hot now, but in 1997, oh my.
Wow.
So one night, like a day or two later, I'm out with my buddies, and I ended up calling her, and we decide to
meet up.
Our crews are going to meet up.
Yep.
And I'm like, what are you wearing? And she says a blue T-shirt with a pair of jeans and sandals. And we go to a bar in New Haven.
Yep.
Motherfucker, it was girl in blue T-shirt, jeans, sandals night.
Oh, no.
I mean, some monsters walked in. There's some pretty girls, and all of them I would walk up, and no kidding, the girl's name was Lisa. And I'd be like, hey, are you Lisa? And nobody was Lisa. To the point where I thought, I think one of these bitches is Lisa. I really do. Like, it's gotta be. Is this like a big old prank on me? So finally, this girl comes walking over, and son of a bitch, if she doesn't look like Lisa Kudrow, holy schmoly.
Well, how did you ruin it, Joe?
Oh, no, this is the worst story ever. It gets worse. It's all bad for me. I think me and my buddies were like finishing that delicious pie they have up there. And so she goes, you know what? We're kind of hungry. Do you guys want to go to that Greek diner?
And you said no?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I'm like, listen, I want to kind of hoping we can hang out and talk a little bit more. And so my boys and I, we get in the car. We go to the 8 Crop in Hamden on Dixwell.
No shows. You got fucking stood up?
Yeah.
You got ghosted in 97?
So, now, mind you, listen, me and this girl both have cell phones, which is very rare in this time frame. As is calling people, but I'm like, I got to call. So I call her up and she answers and she's like, are you coming? I go, we've been here for like 20 minutes. She went to a diner in New Haven, and we were in Hamden.
Oh, no.
So I chalked this all up to, all right, awkward, weird, mix up, cool, whatever. I called her the next night, nothing. Next day goes by, nothing. Third day goes, I call her house instead of her cell phone.
Yo, wow. Wow, bro, that's restraining order.
No, listen.
That is
No,
wild.
listen, this is important. I start to leave a message, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm like, if you're not interested, like, that's
Just
cool.
not being weird, just calling your parents' house.
I was like, no, she lived with another girl in Waterbury. And
Yep.
it's a Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Matter of fact, no, I had called her cell phone and no, that I didn't call her. I called her cell phone. That's what it was. 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, and her roommate answers.
Yep.
And she was like, oh, she's like, Lisa went for a walk
In Waterbury at 10 o'clock at night. Dude.
It's like, dude,
I want to give you a hug.
Do you think I'm fucking stupid? I go, listen, I get the feeling she's not into me. And that hurts my feelings a little bit, but it's cool. And she was like, no, she really likes you a lot. I was like, go fuck yourself. What is even happening here? She doesn't. And so that was my internet story. It was terrible.
Dude, and people don't.
She was hot too.
So the Yahoo chat rooms, right? So like when I was at Central Connecticut, they had the big computer lab because you didn't have really computers of your own and all that.
Yep.
And I met someone in a chat room, right? She lives in Cali, Brenna, dude. And we stayed in touch for probably like 26, 27 years.
Damn.
Never met, never nothing. But like you say it now and it sounds weird, right?
Yep.
Like, but back then it was fucking normal. But then you think back, you're just hopping in a random fucking 18 and over chat, just shooting your fucking shot and be like, you want to meet up? I'm not meeting up anybody now. In this day and age, no, I don't even want to meet my parents out.
It seemed like such a good idea at the time.
Oh, dude,
what could possibly go wrong?
You fumbled the ball. You got to follow them to the diner, bro. Like you should have gotten the car with that girl.
By the way, your mom is on.
Yeah,
she's checking us out. Lisa went for a walk. You know it, Phyllis. What? I couldn't believe that. That was a real shot to my ego. I'll be quite honest.
I will say I don't think I've ever. I mean, obviously my ex-wife divorced me, so that's a pretty big fucking shoot down.
Yeah.
I can't say I'd never been shot down before.
That would have hurt though, because that was like, we talked a lot, and it was like really intense, cool conversation.
Yeah, but I think,
and then we met, and she was like, "Nah, I'm good."
But I think men take it 100 times worse than women.
Yes, of course you do.
Like a guy getting ghosted is just the biggest kick to the pills ever.
Would you agree that men have a much harder time dealing with rejection or anything even perceived to be rejection?
It's not even close. It's not even. Our egos are so fragile.
Oh my God, right?
Like so I'll tell you last night, right? So I'm walking the dogs down the street, and my wife, like from behind, was like, "Oh, you look like you lost a lot of weight." Like, and I'm like, "Well, from the front, I still look fat." Like that is my ego.
Yep.
Like like everything is just a perceived slight, and yes, like any type of negativity, like we just run with it.
Oh yeah,
I
go to your worst possible.
No emotional IQ
implications. Yeah,
right. Like it's. I think that just goes back to like caveman. Like, how dare you? Like I'm the king, and we're so soft when it comes to that. Like women get ghosted, they're like, I'm just gonna go out tonight and meet another dude, which is true, by the way. Right? Like it's so much easier for females than males. Right? Because like you're not like, because we don't like, we have to approach you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's funny that you say that, because if there's a theme for tonight, I think it matters what you look like. because
Oh, no, it
recently,
doesn't.
no,
We're not
seriously,
doing this show.
recently, no, it's true. I saw this thing where it was like these two women on Instagram, and this woman was like, doing some shit, talking about her husband or whatever. And this other woman was like, I divorced my husband 20 years ago, and I've never met anyone else. And I've been lonely for the last 20 years, and he wasn't that bad after all. And it's like, oh my God, that sucks. So I don't know. In theory, if you're an attractive woman, yeah, it would be very easy to probably land a guy. But the other question is, can you just land a quality guy?
Well, no, I didn't say quality, by the way. I just said, like, well, fuck it. I got ghosted tonight. So I'm going to go meet a dude.
Let me tell you something. I got a buddy. I'm not going to say his name, but it was John. John, one time, went to the Meriden Mall on a mission. Ooh. John asked out 100 women for dates.
At the Meriden Mall?
Yeah.
That is the worst place
now,
to do that.
You might think to yourself, what a fucking loser. John looked at it as, hey, I got 3 dates.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
That's a low batting average.
But I will say this.
3 out of 100.
Yeah, that's bad. Right. But I will say from a guy, well, from my perspective anyways, like I think confidence is everything for me. Right. Like when I was dating and all of that and got married and all that, like confidence was like the biggest thing. Like, yes, like I like who I think is attractive for me, but like I think regardless of what you look like and the perceived beauty out there, I think if you're confident, I think that makes a world of difference.
Yes.
Right. Like
you gotta exude confidence. Like, I always say,
like own the shit.
If you don't buy your own bullshit, nobody else will.
And I think that's key, right? Because I think I've met beautiful women that were fucking 200 pounds. I've met beautiful women that are 120 pounds. Like we all have a type, but like my biggest fucking thing is like, you got to be confident. Like, and I think when I met my wife, like she's already been through her stuff in life. And she was, I think the most attractive thing that was for me is like, she was good no matter if I was there or not. Right. She was already in her lane. Like I'm adding to it. Right. Like she's like, cool. If you're there, cool. And if not, I'm moving on with life. And I think that's the attractive thing. But also, too, coming down to physical looks, like to say it's not a part of the evaluation is fucking crazy.
Of course it is.
And it's not a shallow thing, but it's just life.
But that's also why beware of the attractive sociopath.
Oh,
those people are dangerous.
Yeah. There's one thing to be confident, and then there's another thing to be like next level.
But that's the thing. A sociopath is able to pull off all of the confidence in the world. I mean, they can present however is necessary. And again, let's be honest. I think if you're projecting confidence, if you're projecting success, you're projecting positive vibes. I mean, people will pick up on that, and I think that's where most people go wrong.
Well, correct. I think for me, it's if I could see, like, if this person is gonna be just as happy without me there, I think that was always a big thing for me, right? Like, I didn't want someone to be there because they need me there. They just want me there, right? So you could have that fake confidence when you're out. You're the life of the fucking party, and you go home and you're not that person. And listen, we all have our insecurities, but it's like you said, you got to own your shit, right? And you have to be transparent about it if you want this relationship to work. And I have these discussions all the time when we were just talking briefly about the prenups and postnups, right? And you get a lot of, people are getting married at a younger age, things of that nature. And I always tell people, like, if you can't have a conversation about your finances and the shit down the line now before you're married,
yeah, you're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble, right? And that just goes to the overall, what are you looking for out of a relationship? And if you're looking for a partner, you're looking for like a life partner, like I didn't post it yet, but it's easy to fall in love, but it's hard to grow in love, right? The easy part is getting to the altar. That's all the Instagram, fairy tale, Netflix shit, right? Everything is great. But then you got to realize, like, you're spending the rest of the life and you're growing. You're not the same people, right? So you got to learn to grow in love and learn to have those conversations and be confident in yourself and be confident in the fact that your spouse is going to allow you to be yourself, right? Because that's part of the growth. But the falling in love is the easiest part of any relationship. It's not that hard to fall in love, but it's really hard to maintain it and grow into it.
I agree with you. Well, and again, it's like, you get into a relationship. Like, I've been with my wife now for 15 years, right? I mean, the relationship we have is nothing like the first 4 or 5 years we were together.
Yep.
Not even close. You know what I mean? And her level of liking me is not anywhere near where it used to be. And I understand that's because, as people, she's grown and I've regressed.
Or as my ex-wife would say that what did my ex-wife say to me? And it was the craziest thing. I didn't evolve as a human being. That's what my ex-wife told me.
That's hurtful.
Like, I was the same person she married and I never changed.
Yeah.
Which is a bit aggressive.
Well, also, I think women have unrealistic expectations. I do. I really do. I think women assume, especially if you do mother your man a little bit, you're like, this guy's going to grow the fuck up, right? And get his shit together.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, that's what you're for. Just kidding.
Well, and it's also, you have to have these conversations. I just talked to this guy today I met, and his wife, he believes, is clinically depressed because he read an article. Right. So
did he read it on the Mayo Clinic or in Dear Abby? Because it really matters.
I think it was signed off by Trump.
Yeah, we're gonna talk Tylenol coming up. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
And so, and his approach to it was like, gives her a 20-page article to read about what's wrong with her. And I'm like, bro, that's
exactly what's wrong with her. That's a husband that's fucking idiot.
That's not the move, right? So when I was talking to him today about the posting up and doing things, and I'm like, listen, if you're gonna try to make it work, you got to have the conversation with her now, right? Hey, what do you need me to work on? This is what I need you to work on, and have the conversation, because that's how you grow, right? That's how you survive the marriage. But I heard Michelle Obama say one thing one time, and so I think her and who was the terrorist? Her husband, Osama bin Laden. I mean,
Barack Hussein Obama.
Yes, that guy. Right? It depends. and she said the greatest thing. She's like, I've been married for 30 years and I've hated him for 10. And it's not like 10 years straight, but over the length of your marriage, you're gonna have points where you're like, I just want to kill this person, right? And it's not a bad thing, but you work through those things. And sometimes,
unless you're OJ.
Well, he just took matters into his own hands or hand, right? And so, but like, I always go back to me and my wife, because we're such different people. Like, we are such different people in pretty much every aspect of life, but we allow each other to be ourselves, right? And I mean, we can have my wife back on here and she probably could spend an hour on this shit. She can't stand about me. And I know it. We've had these discussions.
Do you work on it?
I try to. Some things I do work on, and other things I absolutely don't. I don't work on everything, no, because some of it's just me. I know how I'm wired. It's just I've been doing this shit for 45 years. But there are times where she'll say something or we'll discuss something. I'm like, okay, I got to approach it differently. I see her perspective of it. But to her credit, things that bother her that I just continue to do because I'm me, we don't agree upon it, but she understands my perspective and who I am, right? And that's the key. You never get this perfect person, right? It is a compromise. This is what we discussed about on our last podcast, how you got all these fucking smart people allegedly, and they can't put their brains together for a compromise because they're worried about a compromise is a lose on either aisle.
Yeah.
Which it's not. So that's what I try to talk to this young guy about today is like, if you're going to put in the work, you also got to realize, hey, maybe don't throw an article on why you're depressed in front of your wife's face. It's probably not the greatest fucking thing to do. Right? Because I was like, if she was sitting at this table, she'd probably print you out an article on, I think you're a douchebag. Right? So it's the perspectives, but we all have shit we got to work on. It is my point. No one's perfect, but it's a compromise, and you have to learn to grow in that relationship. Because if you're counting on how you felt fucking 10 years ago when you said I do, that feeling, I promise you, is not there anymore. Any person who says I wake up and I see my wife the same way I saw her at the altar is fucking lying, delusional, or on Tylenol.
Boy, I have so much to say, but we should probably get into this.
You want to get into it a little bit? Enough of the mushy stuff. You want to get into it? I'm gonna let you set it off. I'm just gonna feed off
long enough.
Yeah.
Listen, 60% of the American public doesn't buy anything Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying.
Yo, could I just say, by the way, I don't want to interrupt you, but he's turning the same color as Donald Trump.
Yeah, what is going on there? I mean, my God.
And also, just when you hear this guy talk, no normal person is going to sit there and have a cup of coffee with that fucking guy, dude. So I'm a big, we had talked about this, and I'm going to let you get to it, but I just can't get enough of this shit, is that, people will have a decision, right? And they just rationalize their way all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but, if you just go with your gut feeling, and this guy starts talking like a fucking, it's like a 1949 Oldsmobile that's trying to start, you are not giving any credence to this guy. If this guy's last name was Smith, no one's ever listening to this guy.
Yeah.
But he's a Kennedy, which I just find ironic because they don't have the greatest run-in family fucking. That family tree's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's not a good family tree. It's the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah, it is.
But because his last name is Kennedy, people actually listen to this guy. It's wild.
Don't forget, this guy basically went to Joe Biden first. It was like, hire me and I'll drop out. And Biden was like, fuck you. And he went to Trump, and Trump was like, all right, I'll let you be in charge of the health. Like, oh my God, this guy is insane. His whole family was like, don't, he's insane. One of them had a lobotomy, and he's still the fucked up one in the family. What is going on here?
And a bunch of them are dead, and he's still the worst one.
If you listen to any doctor or physician or anybody in medicine, they will all tell you, okay? I mean, these people are stupid. Tylenol came out way after autism happened.
No, and here's one of the things too, and people haven't really taken this into consideration, but the amount of people that believe it, and then you have these moms who have autistic kids.
Yeah.
And now they're blaming themselves,
right,
for having an autistic child.
Well, I think that's what they want. I think they want to make women feel like shit. Feel like shit for having the kid. Feel like shit for not having the kid. Like, you can't win. You just can't win. That's what's going on here.
I mean, this whole thing about Tylenol is phenomenal, because he was just like, well, it's just how I feel. So it wasn't like, hey, my doctors are backing me. You got Dr. Oz, who, P.S., is not a medical doctor. You got RFK, who has brain worms.
He's like Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
He's cool, but he doesn't have a fucking medical degree. You know what I mean?
And you got a guy with brain worms. Like, imagine you're at Starbucks, right? Imagine, ladies, you're at Starbucks waiting for this blind date to show up. And he's like, yo, I got brain worms. What'd you say out loud? So, the fact that now moms are out here beating themselves up because some guy made up something about Tylenol, right? And then I'm thinking from the legal aspect, what do you think is going to happen with Tylenol when they get sued by everybody? And then when they sue Trump for just spraying nonsense.
Yes. I mean, my God, you want to talk about slander and shit. I mean, you've got no evidence to back up what you're saying at all.
And P.S. people in Cuba have autism.
So people are like, well, no, the spike in the 80s, that's when all the doctors were recommending Tylenol. Okay. They recommended a lot of shit.
Well, and also
no. Are you ready for this? During the summertime, when ice cream sales are at their highest, shark attacks happen most frequently.
It's the ice cream man's fault.
Now, if you're a fucking idiot, you could go with causation and say ice cream makes shark attacks. Okay? That's a correlation with no causation. Do you understand? Those things just happen at the fucking same time. Total coincidence. Coincidence.
And this is the great part too, right? People are like, well, more kids are diagnosed with autism or on the spectrum. It's because our treatment has gotten better. Our testing has gotten better. So when you're in the 80s and you had a weird, quiet kid in the room,
yes,
who may be smart but socially has some issues, yeah, he wasn't diagnosed. But guess what? He was probably on the spectrum.
Oh my God.
Right. And people, and this is the greatest part. People are like, vaccinations, Tylenol, all this shit is shortening our lifespan. In the fucking 1930s, you got lucky if you got to 40. Right? Like, and guess why we live longer, people? Because we have better health care.
Yep.
We have better medicine. Guess what? We have better vaccinations. Hey, guess what? We took fucking Tylenol. Like, it's insane. I have a cousin who's like a crazy born again. He's like that guy who holds up the abortion signs in New Haven, right? Mm-hmm. He's that guy. Like,
read this comment here from your mom.
Does it have a lot of punctuation? Because it's going to throw me off. Hold on. Let me step away from my mic. Okay, yeah. Here's a fact. We got, my mom said, I took more shit than that, and my kids are fine. My mom was crushing Newports on the way to the operating room. Okay? And some may argue I am on the spectrum, and maybe I am.
I'll tell you right now, I think everybody is on the spectrum. I think some of us are on different levels of the spectrum. There's more levels, more normal levels, or what we perceive as normal behavior. But here's the thing. If the gene that causes autism was not beneficial to the survival of humans, it would not have lasted for 7 million years.
Correct.
So one has to assume there's a reason that we still have that. But I think everybody's on the spectrum at some level or another.
Well, and it's funny too, because then Trump's like the fucking Amish. Well, they also don't have fucking doctors. They don't do any testing, and they stop going to school at 14.
Listen, everybody had that cousin who was 46. He still had a giant, like, fucking comforter in his bedroom in his parents' house.
Carrying a grilled cheese in his front pocket.
Right? He worked at Stop and Shop doing the carts 20 hours a week. He was autistic.
Yeah.
Your uncle was like, he's retarded. He wasn't retarded. He had autism.
Yeah, and I will say,
undiagnosed. They didn't know what it was.
It's near and dear. Like, it really sets me off because my mom was a paraprofessional for 20 plus years. My wife's like a special education superstar. And
she mentioned.
And it's like, one, it's not a negative thing if you're on the spectrum. Let's just keep it 100. Like, it's not a bad thing. Right? Like, it takes all kinds to make this earth move around. So now you got our president out here making parents feel bad for their child in whatever situation they're in. Right? And now people have been hunting for years on this answer. and he just points to fucking Tylenol. And the fact that people are just fucking running with it is fucking crazy. So back to my crazy fucking cousin, the guy who wears a tin helmet, right? So we got in discussion about vaccinations. Whatever. You don't want to get vaccinated, have at it. I don't care. Poke me with all this shit. Because whoever's developing it is way smarter than me. Right? So the best part was, he's like, well, I need to know what's in this vaccination. I'm like, oh, like a ingredients label. And I'm like, and what are you going to do with that? Well, I'm going to look it up. I'm like, on what? Oh, Google. Fucking case closed. Right? And if you're not about the vaccinations, hey, like whatever. That is to your whatever. But my take in on it is, imagine people with polio. We're like, well, we're not taking this weird fucking shit.
Oh, there was an anti-polio movement back in the day.
Yeah, how did that work out for those people?
They died of fucking polio.
So I just be a fact checker. Like, just check your fucking facts. In the day and age where I fucking, every time I wake up in the morning, there's some crazy shit some politician is saying. And it's just, I've never seen anything that was just so made up.
I do not like that there are so many. I mean, I mentioned 60% of people are like going to completely disregard what RFK Jr. is saying, but 40% of people are like, you know what? This guy's making good points. Like, what kind of a suck ass do you have to be to hear brainworm? I mean, there's fucking. Let me tell you something. My wife's best friend listens to this podcast. Tatiana and Prescott are fucking scientists. They're two of the smartest people I know. They've been working on autism research, and I'll tell you right now, if those two people can't solve it, if they haven't figured out what it's caused by, that fucking dopey ass motherfucker most certainly isn't going to be the one. Aspirin, you fucking idiot.
But it's crazy is that if you took Trump out and you put any other president in, like, none of this shit passed muster. Like, you got Kash Patel out here looking like he's blowing pounds of coke before this Senate.
That guy is
wild.
A disaster of epic purport. I mean, he almost makes RFK seem qualified.
Yeah, but this goes back to our original conversation about looks, right?
Yeah.
So let's do the look test, right? Let's just start with Trump. He doesn't open his pie hole, and you look at this guy, and he looks like a fucking oversized French fry, right? And you're like, nope, no. And then you got Kash Patel, who looked like he did a pound of coke and has got a dildo shoved right up his ass all the time. And you're like, I'm not trusting that guy. And
he's always got his eye on the left wing and the right wing.
And then you get RFK. And you're like, is this a South Park episode?
Oh my God. Right?
Like,
isn't it starting to feel like a big joke?
But it's like, pass the smell test. Like, it's not that hard. Use your brain. But it's amazing. But I will say I was proud of Trump this week, because when those escalators shut off and his wife, thank God she's in good shape. They had to hoof up
she's in great shape.
Those 15 stairs. I was proud of my man.
I'll be honest, I don't think that was actually an escalator. I think that was just a staircase, and he doesn't know what that is.
No, the best part about Trump this week, too, was him fat shaming people on Ozempic.
Oh, my God. He is like...
He's like, I got fat friends, and that shit ain't working. Like, this guy's just ripping out fucking 8-pack of abs.
I will tell you this. In conservative land right now on conservative radio, there's always going to be the everything Trump says and does is right. But there's definitely some people that are like, he's just like flapping his gums. And it's like, no, that's important. That's the direct.
It's literally
right.
That's the most important
like,
part of his job.
Don't listen to what Trump says. If you want to take it, take it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, when you can't excuse it. Also, let's just talk about Jimmy Kimmel here for a second.
Oh, I got to get your opinion on this because you are in this media.
The president of the United States. I don't give a goddamn who you are, even if you used to be on TV. Don't worry about ABC's fucking programming at night. What? Are you serious?
Well, it's
also, listen, I don't give a shit what you think of Jimmy Kimmel. I'll be honest. He's never really been my cup of tea at all. Okay. Free speech is important in America. And the 2A people always talk shit about how important 1A is, and 2A is there to protect 1A, or blah, 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 blah. Put your money where your mouth is. You don't have to like what Jimmy Kimmel is saying.
Correct.
And you could be like, well, but what about, shut the fuck up. Any type of restriction to me personally, on any of our rights, any of them, 1, 2, 5, 10, 13, 7, whatever. Do you understand how many amendments? 27?
Yep.
That's all you got.
So put a value on it.
You've got 27 rights in the Constitution. That's it. So when I see them chip away at gun rights, I don't like it. I see them chipping away at abortion rights. I don't like it. I see them chipping away at voting rights. I don't like it. I try to be consistent in the shit that I believe. There's not a politician who's ever fucking lived who I 100% always agree with.
Correct.
I look at things at a case-by-case basis. I don't just go, well, if my guy likes it, I like it. What does that impact my life, my state, my industry, my wife's industry, my whole family, Vinny?
Me?
All of this shit's important, and it matters to me.
Well, I think it's...
And if you're living a life where other people don't matter, you're a fucking sociopath, and really you should mind your business as far as public policy is concerned.
Well, correct, because we're all in this shit. And,
yeah, we are.
And it's funny, you know, because the administration was harping on freedom of speech and say what you want and say what you will. But it's the exact opposite of what they're doing, right? So going back to Charlie Kirk, they just silenced the man. They didn't like what he was saying, and they took care of it. Well, what the fuck is Trump doing? And and your president, the guy who's supposed to be running your country, is taking big shits and sending out crazy fucking tweets about what people are saying on TV. And the greatest part about this country, whether you agree with what's being said or not, and this goes on both sides. Trump says shit I don't agree with all the time. Fox, name them. There's a bunch of shit. But I don't call and be like, hey, get them off the air. Right? And that's what's great. And that's what's happening now. If it is not their story, they don't want to hear it. And you can't make an argument against it. You can't say, well, Jimmy Kimmel got suspended because of the ratings. No, he would have gotten canned.
Yeah, give me a break.
And then when Trump comes out and says, well, we'll see if I get another $16 billion out of him. Okay, so those are the facts of the case, right? If a company is going to shit can someone because they have a poor performing late night show on Wednesdays, by the way, like they're not doing this to make the money. It is a spot filler.
But they did cancel culture to us. No.
Yeah, no.
Like, first of all, here, let me ask you this. I have to ask this of people. Again, as somebody who works in conservative radio and is married to a very outspoken feminist, progressive, liberal Democrat, I hear people saying, and they say this to me, like, I hate these people. I've had enough of their, left-wing catering to the illegal immigrants, which, basically everything you think about liberals is not true. It is insane right-wing propaganda. It's being instigated by, unfortunately, people like Charlie Kirk. And the weird thing is there's a war between those people. They have their own their whole other thing going on there.
Yeah.
The far right people. Things are getting insane.
Well, because you're getting a party that's battling within each other, right? And
because you're not as extreme as you need to be, and it's like they're trying to sell you that all liberals are right. The left killed Charlie Kirk. The left tried to assassinate President Trump twice. And yet Ted Cruz testified that Iran hired those people. I mean, again, like the right-wing propaganda, if you listen to it long enough, contradicts itself.
Well, and I want to clarify. It's like because I will say I have friends that are Republican and they're not far right. Right. So I think
there's still reasonable Republicans on the planet. They just don't have the courage to speak up
but
and stop the insanity.
Well, that's the problem, because and the Democrats do it too, is everyone's protecting the party and they're not protecting the people. Right.
Right.
They are, hey, you have the Republicans that are like, yeah, we think this shit's crazy, but we're not going to lose face. And then you have the Democrats that are doing the same thing on the other side. And instead of being for the people, they are protecting the party and they're not protecting us. And that's where I have a problem on both sides of the fence, because at the end of the day, as you've already stated earlier, this isn't about individuals or parties, right? This is about us as people. And people forget that. Like, you don't have to pick a side. You could lean one way or the other, but you're also going to have these discussions. And that's the best part about freedom of speech. That's the best part about having, different news stations and different talk show hosts, is that we get to see all sides of it. And just from a pure person who likes to laugh, I love Trump. Like, I love everything that's going on because I can turn it on and I can laugh. Right. And that's my right to do so. But if you have enough time in your day to respond to, and this goes on both sides of the aisle, all your Twitter followers, Instagram comments, late night shows, then you're not doing your job. Because I'm very good at what I do in a lot of aspects of my life, but there are people who talk negative about me, and I could do one of two things: just go on a mission and burn all those bridges and find all those people, or just say, you know what, I'm good with who I am. Right. And I know that at the end of the day, I'm a good person. I try to help out when I can. And just think about it from that manner. And instead of just staunchly defending whether you're on the left side or the right side of the aisle, like, you don't got to dig your heels in. Just have a conversation, because at the end of the day, we are in the best country in the world. Like, it's a shit show, but we just see it more now. But the reality is, everyone still wants to come here.
As a white, land-owning, Christian, registered Republican, I am doing aces and am in no danger if Donald Trump goes down the authoritarian route.
Yeah, it doesn't affect my life at all.
I would probably be if you
off.
watch The Handmaid's Tale, I'd be like an eye. I'd probably be a driver, is what I'm telling you. So I'm gonna be fine. I'm not worried about myself here. There are a lot of inequities in this world. There are a lot of bad people in this world. I think there's a lot of opportunists in this world. I think there are people who make a living off of hatred. I enjoy making fun of everybody. I will make fun of Joe Biden all day long while he's president. I used to make fun of George Bush. I used to make fun of Obama. I make fun of Trump. I make fun of AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene. The first time I saw Dan Crenshaw, I made all kinds of pirate jokes. I made jokes about J.D. Vance fucking a couch. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's fucking
it's funny.
hilarious.
It's
Because you know
funny.
what? At the end of the day,
I want to laugh.
at the end of the day, we're all Americans. And anybody who sells you different is I believe intentionally misleading you.
You know what I find interesting is when you ask someone like to define an American, right? Like, and depending who you ask, it's amazing on how many times it's like, well, they look like you.
Well,
but that's it. But it's I just had the guy I met with tonight, he was Indian, and we were talking, and we got into kind of a similar topic, right? And I just laughed because, and we've had this discussion, like this whole country, it's just built on people who are not from here.
right.
Like, unless you're like a Navajo, Apache, or something like that.
They're not even from here.
I mean,
they migrated from Asia.
Well, correct. But like they got here
Nobody's
from
from
here. Yeah. Like
at all.
Like there's not a natural like American, like, and I could guarantee you a lot of this society would be like, well, it is a white male, like,
right, because they were the last ones to conquer it before like people became really civilized.
Correct. So keep that in mind, is that this country, our foundations, our successes in this world were based on a melting pot of all these individuals coming together. And that's why it's the most unique country in the world, because there's no other country that has such a big melting pot, that has such a diversity, that has such an opportunity to see other paths of life and bring that to this table. It's the same thing as a marriage. I'm not bringing the same shit to the table that my wife is, because that life would be boring, right? You're not adding to it. But the more people we have here of different backgrounds adds to my life, adds to my experiences, adds to everybody's. And it just, and I told this to the guy tonight, I don't know why I'm so passionate about it, right? Because like you're older than me. I'm mid 40s, you're 50, but like none of this social shit is going to affect where I live at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Trump got into office, and I talked to this guy at the gym, and he was like, thank God, because I thought my life was over. And I looked at him, at a 55-year-old guy with a $90,000 truck, pension, paycheck, the whole nine. I was like, your life hasn't changed. My life hasn't changed.
Right.
We are bulletproof, no matter who's in office.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's just the reality of it. So it just makes me think you don't care about the rest of the people here.
Right.
And it's not being a socialist, it's just being a fucking person who just cares about how everyone else is doing. And it's sad because we didn't have the media back when I was a kid and all of this stuff. It's just getting worse. And I just don't understand it, because we're all in this shit and people forget our history. Our country's not that old. Right? So, like, what are we doing? Like, how was this country built? How did we become successful? It wasn't each for his own. It was us versus everybody else, and we were all on board.
During Trump's first term, during COVID, I was with a buddy of mine who's big Trump guy. And we were kind of talking about some shit that was going on at the time. And he did the, I don't agree with everything Trump says, but you got to admit, economy's going pretty well. He said, as a matter of fact, with Trump's tax cuts, I'm making an extra $50 a week. And I said, I got to tell you, brother, I don't know what my price is to sell out my fellow brothers and sisters, but it's not $2,400. I know that.
Nope.
I don't know. What's my number? I don't know, but I'll tell you, it would have to be pretty high. As I said earlier, I greatly value the very few and limited rights that we have in this country. And you will never see me rooting for rights to be taken away from anybody.
Well, I think too is that people put so much value on money and what's in their pocket, but it doesn't make you happier at the end of the day, right? Like the only way
you could still be morally bankrupt.
Well, you could be, but like the rest of the world, like where you're at is not happy. You can't be the only happy guy in a fucking village. It's not the way it works, right? So I'm not sitting here saying give up all your money and stuff, but like the reality is you got to put some value on the quality of life and realize that your quality of life is not based on you and the people in your house. Your quality of life is based on your entire life, the interactions with people when you go to the grocery store, everywhere, right? And I was in the bank yesterday and some guy was complaining about business and not making as much money because all of this economic stuff. And I just turned to him. I'm like, you got food on the table, your lights are on, your family's good. Then stop complaining. We could always do better. And if you want better, go be better. But what we have here is all first world problems.
Mm-hmm.
We all got problems. We got, illness, job. We're not all 100% happy. But if you keep the perspective that like people would fucking kill to be in your shoes, like my worst day is someone's best day. And listen, and I'll be the first to admit, yesterday I had an off day. I woke up, wasn't in a good mood. And I wrote it out, but and I didn't really have a good reason to be in a bad mood. I had the luxury of saying I'm in a bad mood. I'm just going to sit in it today. Because that's a luxury I have in life. Right?
Yeah, it is.
And if you could have that luxury where it'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to sit through this bad day and then I'm going to be good tomorrow. It's a fucking luxury. So count your fucking blessings and stop bitching so much. And if you do have to make changes and you're going through a rough time, then change. But you can't count on the people that were voting in to change your life because they don't give a shit.
Right. I'll tell you two things. No one's causing your problems and no one's coming to fix them.
Well, 1,000%, man. 1,000%. No one's coming to fix your problem. Right. And I just did a post about this is that, people will be so quick to blame somebody for your problem, right? But they're going about their day not thinking about you.
Yep.
Right? So you have to make the choice on how much space you're going to give that person or that job in your brain. And that's on you. That's not their fault because they can piss you off when they go out about their day. They don't give two shits, right? But you're just allowing them to fucking rent your brain out.
Pathetic.
So it's not pathetic. It's hard to deal with, Joe. But you really have to keep that mindset, limit your space, limit the space of those negative people because you control that. You can't control what they're doing.
Give me a card.
We're going to go card.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we just turned it on.
Is it possible to have multiple soulmates in 2025? Yes, it is. It's very possible.
It's
at the same time, even.
It's the chic thing to do, I heard.
That's interesting. Can you have multiple soulmates? I suppose if your soulmate dies and they're no longer your soulmate, I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to say probably not. I think I don't believe in souls. Let me start off by saying that. I don't buy that bullshit. But the idea of there's someone meant for you, I could buy that.
I don't.
Do you get more than one? I doubt it.
Yeah, so I think you do. I'm agree with you. I don't think there's just some magical being out there for me and our souls.
There's
crossed.
12 or 13 of them and you've only met one. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you're going to have multiple people that are right for that time in your life.
Ooh.
Right. So I think
that's philosophical right there.
Well, because at that time it was right for the moment. right? So I think when people are demonizing divorces, for example, right, and like, how could you get a divorce? You have failed. You haven't. It's just not. It's not what's right for the time. It's not right anymore. It was right at that time when you got married, and yes, that was your person. But as we've already discussed, you grow, right? And that growth, you guys may be growing separately, and so now is not the time to be together anymore. It doesn't make them a bad person or you a bad person. And then, like, when I got married to Ashley, like, it wasn't like, oh man, this is a fucking mistake. It was the perfect thing at that time, right? And I got a divorce and I met my wife, and it was the perfect thing at the time. And my marriage is great and we work on it. But you could have that type of love multiple times in your life, but it's also a big part of it is timing and where you're at in life. And you get these couples that stay together for 30, 40 years because that's what you're supposed to do. But for 20, 25 years, it wasn't that, they weren't that person anymore. So I don't think there's that like one shining person that it just everything clicks, because marriage doesn't work that way. You grow, you're different people.
Soulmates are bullshit. You can't have one because you can't even have any because it's not real. Sorry to dash your hopes and dreams.
And
people.
we don't have any scientific background for that. That's just the feeling Joe has. But
yeah,
we're good in that.
Well, you know, it's funny when I tell people, I'm like, I don't believe in souls. And they're like, you don't believe we have a soul? And I go, where is it? Dude. Yeah, exactly.
This is gonna be a good one for Joe.
Oh my God, what do you think your biggest weakness is? Probably the hours and hours of lovemaking. No, I'm just kidding.
My God.
What is my biggest weakness? I'll tell you what it is. It's my fragile ego, and it's the fact that I will not tolerate what I deem bullshit.
I agree with that on both fronts. Me.
Wait, about me? Yes. You're agreeing that's mine? That's
yes.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
Yes,
that hurts because of the fragile ego.
Mine is probably,
he's gonna say some dumb shit like you know, my weakness is I'm so smart and witty and handsome. Is that it? Is that your weakness?
No, I go to number 4, which is my breathing.
Oh my God.
I will say my number one weakness is thinking I could save everybody. I have a problem.
You're one of those.
Yeah, I have a problem saying no, professionally, personally. And it sounds like, oh, boo-hoo, Vin, but it's a problem. Because it puts me in predicaments. Into so many weaknesses I have. Probably like self-doubting. Mm-hmm. Like that's my biggest one.
I
like,
get that.
I'm not like everyone sees me. I'm like a fucking rooster around, but I got some issues in my head. I got that like shallow Hal thing going on.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not funny actually. Thank you.
I overprocess things. I overthink things. I reanalyze things.
Yeah.
I go back and have conversations where it's like, son of a bitch, you know what else I should have said? Oh!
Yeah, I get that. And I do that a lot too. Like I should have done this or I should have done that. But yeah, those are my two biggest. I'm sure if my wife was here, she would have a plethora of weaknesses that I have. But she still loves me anyways, and that's why I'm married. It takes a special someone to marry a guy like this, that's handsome and smart and humble. I am, dude. I'm a very humble person.
That's your biggest weakness.
That's my biggest weakness, is being so humble. Are we doing another card?
We're gonna do, yeah. Well, we got to make up. This is 3 weeks worth of cards.
Oh, and we're trying to get off the political stuff. I understand. We lose fans that way. Ooh.
No, funny enough, we actually have maintained pretty well. I think the people watching, I think they get it. We did this one already. It was what's the one thing you would say to your younger self? And
Yeah,
it's
we've done that like 8
Bitcoin.
times.
Get all the fucking Bitcoin you can. That's what you.
Ooh.
That's what you would have told yourself. Oh boy, what was the lowest point of your life, and how did you overcome it? Jesus Christ!
I want to hear this one. I think we stumped him.
No,
Are you just
know what?
overanalyzing?
No, I'm
just...
overanalyzing. I think I want to end this on a cliffhanger, and I right now, I'll tell you right now, everybody, I would challenge all of you to come equipped next week if you want to tell your story.
All right, you got to read it to our people
What
who don't
was
watch.
the lowest point of your life, and how did you overcome it?
And I think this is a great one to end the show on, because I think if people actually participate, like we can learn, like, oh, that's maybe how I should deal with my shit. And that's what I love about this show, is that, like, it's a learning process, right? Like, our fans, like they share on Facebook, we talk, and just having these conversations and, being honest with your challenges and how you got them, overcame them, will help everybody else. So I like that. We'll end it on that. I had another card lined up, but we'll do that another day. I'm gonna
what is it?
Sneak peek. Yeah.
Jesus, that's even deeper. All right. Again, what was your low point? How did you overcome it? We will open up next week with our stories, and for all of you, and there's many of you who watch this show every week, I hope you will come equipped to share yours. I think we don't make it too long, but
and if you guys are watching or listening when you log into like iTunes and all that, just hit us up on an email.
Yeah. Also, for the people that are watching, if you do want to actually come on, I can actually send you a link, and you could literally jump into into the chat room and literally come on live and tell your story.
That would be great.
Yeah, we could do that.
I like that idea, Joe. We're progressing as a podcast.
If you're interested in doing that between now and next Thursday night, just send an email to.
We'll go to my law firm, Vincent at mpflawct.com, or just jump into my Facebook messages and we'll link you up. I think it'd be a good time. Even if you guys don't have anything to say, but you want to be involved and be famous like us.
Yeah.
Just make sure you guys look appropriate. We have a reputation uphold up here.
Have a great night, Phyllis. You're the best, and we do appreciate you, Mama.
Yeah, whatever, Mom. She just cost me a bucket load of money, so I'm going to talk to her tomorrow about that.
And Ryan and Nicole and Ross and Chessa, and there was a whole bunch of other people watching, and, of course, Diane. Always appreciate that love and support. We should wear the hats again, Ben.
And I'm sorry Mom took Tylenol with you, Diane, but she clearly didn't with me.
Oh my God. Your sister said, Mom, I'll show you how to email. That's hilarious. All right. We appreciate you guys watching. I'm glad we got the show back on the road here. It was about time.
Yeah, we're going to be back.
Glad you showed up super loaded. That always makes for a really good show. Until next time, it's Joe and Vinny. Change your plans.
Who it is.
ChangeYourPlansCT.com is the website if you want to get some good life coaching from
this guy right
man,
here.
the myth, the legend.
See
you next week, baby.
Later.